Hey everybody!
Hi, welcome back to Tuesday Talks.
So this week for Tuesday Talks, we are going to be reviewing and reminding you of our other Tuesday Talk episodes that we've recorded up until this point.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a best of Tuesday Talks, but really our intent on starting Tuesday Talks, we did it during the beginning of the pandemic after we'd kind of closed our shelter down to the public, just because we wanted to keep the public, especially in this Northwest Missouri area, aware of their resources and how the resources are still the same but may look different during the pandemic. So we really just wanted to keep people connected.
And so it was just a fun project that we both just kind of decided, and it's taken off from there. So we're just gonna spend some time talking about it. So, do you guys remember our first episode? We do.
Oh, yeah.
So that was with Catherine Hawley out at the Nottoway County Health Department, which was very fitting because, like we said, it was in the middle of the pandemic when we were all in quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And so we felt like talking to Catherine and hearing what she has to say was very fitting, not only as someone who works at the Nottoway County Health Department, who's been keeping our county informed of the COVID cases and all of that, but then also because she collaborates with us, and she has for quite a while now, about sexual assault prevention. And so we're excited to be part of that project. So she's writing a grant about sexual assault prevention that will allow us to talk to the community more so in a preventative way and how to prevent sexual assault. And she's been doing a lot of hard work around that. She's been going to the different communities in the whole county, not just in Maryville, but in the whole county, and talking to people about like what services do you think that we need, and what do you need, and how can we be doing better at educating and talking about sexual assault, because that's a hard conversation to have for most people. And so how can we be having those conversations because they are important, but then being inclusive of everybody and trying to meet as many people's needs as we can. Would you mind sharing some of the findings
Sure.
with the survey? Because I know you've gone to different communities and shared with
Yeah.
shared that
that
survey.
with a survey, right? Yeah, and on some of those questions, people can put a comment, and have had several comments of "don't blame the victim," and a lot of those might be social norms, breaking down what
Yeah.
considered social norms, and really opening up that discussion. But really, how do you do that? And that's the challenge for the committee. That's it's tough. It's tough,
Yeah.
but it's workable, and I think it's possible.
And so she's been doing a lot of hard work around that. So check out her episode when she was on with us with Tuesday Talks. I'll put the link down below. And so go click on that one and rewatch that video and just find out, because we're still working with that sexual assault prevention group that involves a handful of professionals around the community and community members too. So that's a really good group. And so go rewatch Catherine Hawley's video.
Yeah, and so something else, we did a lot of our videos in April, and April was actually Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So we had a theme for the month of April where we really interviewed and talked with individuals in the community and organizations in the community that, work directly with us through like sexual assault cases and things like that. So we also interviewed Amanda Cullen at UPD and just had a conversation with her about how we worked together in the past, and how some of the officers at UPD had gone to a trauma-informed training. And so when they, provide services to the students who have, really all the students, but we really focus on those who have been through a sexual assault, how to respond and handle to that trauma that they've been through.
Sexual assault. And the very first thing is to ensure that survivors feel safe and feel heard. And so one of the things that law enforcement focuses on, whether they're a first responder to the situation or later during an interview, is that survivors feel safe as possible, that we can provide, as well as feel like they have an opportunity to share their experiences.
And also, in the spirit of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, we had Natalie Maupin on our show as well. And she is the lead sexual assault nurse examiner in the emergency room in St. Joe. And then she's also part of our sexual assault response team. And so she comes up here once a month or lately by Zoom, and gives input and just kind of talks about the sexual assault cases that they see down there. She's also responsible for really awesome changes down there in St. Joe's ER that accommodates victims of sexual assault and makes them more comfortable, if you will, during the sexual assault forensics exam, or the AKA rape kit process, where they have their own private room. It's off of the ER. It's still considered to be inside of the emergency room, but it's kind of off in a quieter area. There's color up on the walls. There's they can play music. There's a recliner in there. So she just talks about that, and also just information about the sexual assault forensics exam, or otherwise what people might know it as the rape kit. So
we were able to get this room, and a big thing is it has a bathroom with a shower. That's like a huge thing for us, is we never had that before. And so just how it might seem like so minimal, but just how much being able to shower is a really big thing for victims. You know, if they've come straight from the assault and then we've done this exam, which we talked about, that is, you know, pretty intrusive, then to just be able to go in and shower and kind of, I mean, it doesn't take everything away, but kind of have like a fresh start before they're going back to their home or wherever it may be.
So that's a really informative video. So go check that out at the link below, and rewatch that if you want to learn about sexual assault forensics exams.
And another person that we interviewed was Rita Walinga. She works at the Job Center in Maryville. And that's actually really a good one to watch, because honestly, I don't think a lot of people really know about the Job Center or know about their services that they provide. And so again, this was also filmed at the beginning kind of our quarantine.
Yeah, so the purpose of the Job Center is really to help individuals become as self-sufficient as possible. And so one of those is we can assist them with their job search to try and help them maybe get better wages, better hours, or maybe a job that's of more interest to them or more aligned with their educational background. We can help people with their job applications, like online job applications, help them create an effective resume, help them find different sites where they can actually job search too.
I think they're still taking clients by appointments only. So call first before you head on over there. But that's a really great video just to hear what services that the Job Center can do for the community and also for the youth in our community as well.
And then don't forget about the week where our coworker Janine Montgomery guest starred on it, not as the guest, because that was a different episode, but as the co-host. And so there was one week Julie was unable to attend, so Janine helped me co-lead, and we had Lori Hawes on. So Lori is one of our awesome volunteers here at North Star, but then she wears multiple hats. And so in that video, she talks about a few of those hats that she wears, and one of those being her business that she's starting that reaches out to first responders, law enforcement, and we talked a lot about secondary trauma and compassion fatigue on there. And so go check out that video, because what she does is really important. And so we had a really good conversation around people in the military and just the trauma that they see in first responders and law enforcement. So go check that out.
And another thing that I want to throw out there is a conversation Megan and I were having the other day about what some people call secondary trauma. It's also called vicarious trauma. And that's simply seeing. So if I'm driving in a car and I come up on, you know, a shooting or a wreck or whatever, I see that and it has a much stronger effect on me than one might realize. So this is why it's so imperative that we bring in some form of counseling offered when ambulance riders get back and EMTs and paramedics, and they've had a terrible call. You know, that's why, because that secondary can be just as detrimental.
And also she talks about the her job that she has at Northwest Missouri State University. And so she talks about what she does for students and how she helps them and how that office there helps them out.
And we also have an episode where we actually interviewed Janine Montgomery our fellow advocate here at the North Star, and we interviewed Chelsea, who is an on-call staff member here at North Star, and they both actually have served in the military. And so watch that episode. It's our special Memorial Day episode, just to kind of get an insight on, you know, what they did for our country in the service, and then also how they've been able to take the experiences that they've had in the military and bring it into advocacy.
We focus on common goals. One of them being helping those in need. Only one thing matters: our love for doing the right thing and helping those that need us during a time when their life when they may feel all alone.
I would have to say the best thing that the Army has taught me is to be flexible. The plan changes all the time. We expect it to change. And so very similar to working with clients, none of them are the same. And there's no cookie cutter client. And so you have to be flexible with them in order to be successful and to help the client where they're at.
And we also had another one of our coworkers on the show, Abby Stoll, and so remember, she has her own little business on the side where she's a very creative person, and so she designs t-shirts, she makes little cups and makes them really pretty. I know that she's made a couple different t-shirts for all of us here at North Star, and then also little design cups as well. She also had little koozies that she designed, and they make perfect little gifts for whether it's for like a wedding party or a graduation or just any kind of event where you need like little gifts to give to people. She's an excellent person to hit up.
So I've just got like koozies is one thing that seems to be really popular. So there's some koozies that I've made. And then another thing that seems to be very popular that I've done in the past are these. And they are popsicle koozies, so they're for ice pops.
So check out her video down below, and we have all of the links to where you can contact her for her business if you want something creative and a fun little gift to give to people.
And last but not least, we actually created, our whole staff here, a fun little music video just to kind of boost morale during quarantine. And I mean, especially with kind of recent events where there's just been a lot of stress and anxiety with, you know, across the nation and communities. It's a fun little video just to watch now to kind of boost your morale as you're at home or doing whatever you're doing.
Yep. So we're going to play that music video at the end. And so that's going to be it for this week for Tuesday Talks. I know that it wasn't very long, but we just wanted to give another shout out because we really do appreciate when people come on our show. Mm-hmm. They take time out of their day to come on and have a conversation with us. We want to keep the community in the know about all of the resources that are available, as well as reminding people that we're still here and available as well. So as we're slowly transitioning back into a reopening stage, we just kind of want to keep the word out there about those different resources because they're all still out there too. So
have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.